So welcome, thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Deb. I'm a veterans yoga project teacher. I'm also a mom of a Marine, and I'm very excited to be here today, and thank you for joining me. I just want to emphasize, a lot of you who've been practicing with me know that I've been talking about hope, that hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. And at the same time, let's invite one to stay. Those are the words of Maya Angelou. And I invite you to bring hope into this practice, that with us being supported together, we can learn to live and act from this deep place of hope and support one another, connecting to one another through these practices, and being kind to one another. So again, we will begin on our mat. We're going to come onto our back. Okay, so we're going to do what they call the constructive rest pose. So if you're not able to get down on a mat and you want to do the practice sitting in a chair, find a comfortable position in your chair with your feet on the floor. If you're on your mat, you're going to come down, get both feet flat on the ground, your knees are bent, and slowly come onto your spine. With your shoulder blades down your back, walk your heels a little bit closer towards your buttocks, and rest your hands, one lightly on your belly and maybe one on your chest. So if you're sitting in a chair, you can just rest your hand on your belly and on your chest. As we are going to take a moment now to just scan your body. I invite you to just observe from head to toe, noticing the physical sensations in your body. If there's any areas of tightness or holding, just notice what they are for you today. Then I invite you to just notice, bring your attention and awareness into your breath. We're going to start this practice with the 3-part breathing technique. So I invite you to bring your attention to the sensations of your breath. Perhaps as you're inhaling and exhaling, notice the breath in your hands. Notice as you inhale, the sensation of your belly rising, and maybe you'll notice the sensation in your hand that's resting on your belly. Continue to fill your lungs and feel the expansion in your chest. And then as you exhale, slowly release the breath from the body, noticing the rise and the fall. So in 3-part breath, you want to empty the breath completely, all the way out, so you're exhaling completely. And then as you inhale, breathe deep into the bowl of your belly. Feel the slight expansion in your rib cage, and the filling up all the way to the upper chest. And then exhale completely all the way again. Try that on your own for a couple of rounds. Find a cadence that's comfortable for your breath. So breathe deep into the bowl of your belly. Expand your chest and your lungs all the way up. And then exhale all the way out. Completely emptying your lungs. That's really letting go of anything that you might be holding on to in the base of your lungs. Exhale all the way out, and then inhale completely. Now, slowly bring your hands down by your sides. Draw those shoulder blades down your back and feel your feet grounded. Feel the 4 corners of your feet really pressing into your mat, like you're imprinting your feet in the sand. Feel that connection. Bringing your awareness into the spine now. Follow the curves of your spine. Maybe start at the back of your neck. Notice the curve in the base of your neck. Follow along your spine to where your thoracic cavity is touching the back of your mat. And then notice the low back curve called the lumbar spine. And then how your back of your sacrum rests on your mat. Now, if you're doing this in a chair, you can follow along in a chair as well. Now, bringing your attention to that curve in the low back, we're going to do what is called a pelvic tilt. We're going to gently draw the navel center like you're zipping up a zipper. Draw the navel center towards the back of your spine and gently press the low back into your mat or into the back of your chair, wherever you are. You're going to feel a flattening of the low back and hopefully a release of the low back. And then let the natural curve happen again on its own. So it's a very small move, but you're bringing an awareness and attention right into that low back. You're going to pelvic tilt, navel center in, flatten the low back, and then relax. We'll do that one more time. Draw that zipper up, navel center into the back of the spine. Feel the sacrum resting on the mat, and then release. Now, if it's available to you and you'd like to lift the pelvis off the mat now, this is called a bridge pose. Lift the hips gently off the mat. Maybe come an inch or two, or if you feel like you can go a little bit higher, you're going to listen to your body at all times. And then you're going to slowly lower down. So we'll do what they call the dynamic bridge, which is lifting your hips up and down several times. So as you inhale, lift the pelvis up. And as you exhale, lower the hips down. This releases the sacrum. This is the low back, but you're also engaging strength through your core and your quads. Try that a couple times on your own. You don't have to follow my cadence. Just move at a pace that feels supported for you in your body. We'll do one more lift just with the hips. And then when you lower down, just pause for a moment and notice that physical sensation in the low back, in your quads, and in your glutes and your core. We're going to add a little bit of shoulder movement in this now. So the shoulder movement will be depending on your range of motion. You're going to inhale and lift your arms up. Perhaps point your fingers up towards the ceiling. Now, if you have a limited range of motion, maybe this is where you'll stay. But if it's available for you to bring your arms behind you, maybe even bring the back of your hands to the floor, you're going to expand. And then slowly bring your hands back down by your side. So that's the movement, and modify in the way that makes sense for you today. So again, as you inhale, you lift your arms up. Maybe fingertips just go up to the ceiling. But if you have a range of movement that you can bring the arms overhead, go right ahead. And then lower it down by the sides. Now, if you'd like to join the two movements together, lift your hips and pelvis, lift your arms. As you inhale, extend, and then as you exhale, you're going to lower. So this is called a dynamic bridge pose. So we're going to do that 2 more times with the arms and shoulders moving at a pace that seems suitable for you. Again, you don't want to go into any sense of discomfort or dis-ease. So always move in a range of motion that feels supported for you in your body. We'll do one more. And when you finish and complete lowering your hips and lowering your shoulders, this is where I'm going to invite you to pick up your knees. Bring your right hand onto your right shin and your left hand onto your left shin. And you're going to gently draw your knees in towards your chest. This is going to help release the lower back and spine. And maybe rock from side to side and just observe that feeling of a nice massage, like your sacrum is giving your back a nice massage. This is sometimes where I like to circle my knees. So I take my hands now right on my kneecaps and circle my knees 3 times in one direction. And then I circle them 3 times in the opposite direction, massaging the low back. Now placing your feet back on the floor with your knees still bent. We're going to move into stretching out through the joints of the hip, the knees, and the ankles. So depending on your ability today, when you draw your right knee into your chest, just your right knee, hug it in. And if you have low back concerns, keep your left knee bent. But if your low back is at ease today, slide your left leg out. All right, so there's a choice here. You always have choices to take the modification that's suitable for you. If your left leg is extended, your foot is, toes are pointing up in a flexed position, and your right knee is hugging into your chest. We're going to start with the ankle of the right foot and point and flex the foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll circle the right ankle for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then circle the other way for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hug it in. Take a nice big inhale. And if it's available to you, if you want to exhale, maybe draw your forehead up towards that knee to release the back of your neck and shoulders. Notice how that feels. And then slowly lower your head, and we're going to switch legs. So, knees bent. You're going to bring your left knee in. You can keep your right knee bent, or you can extend your right leg. And again, make this your practice and what you need it to be for you today. The count today will be the number 5, and we'll count for 5. We'll point and flex for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then the other way again, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Now, if you again take a nice big inhale, on your exhale, you can bring your forehead up towards your knee. This helps to release the low back. And then gently lower your head, and then bring both knees back into your chest. We're going to do one more exercise on our back that's going to help release the psoas muscles. Those are your hip flexors. And if you do a lot of sitting, this is really very good for releasing your psoas. So if it's available to you, you're going to bring your knees, both knees up. Your shins are parallel to the floor. You want your knees above your hips. So notice how that feels. If you're bringing your knees too close into your chest, you're not going to get into those hip flexors. In order to get into the hip flexors, you're going to notice that your core, or all of a sudden your core has to engage. Then you know you've got those hip flexors involved. You're going to take both of your hands and make a fist. And you're going to place both fists right between your knees. So the action here, in order to engage the psoas, is you're going to press your knees into your fists, and at the same time, you're going to try to separate your hands. So you're going to do an isometric squeeze. Squeeze your knees into your fists and let your fists press your knees away. The action will be only on your exhale. So your inhale is passive. So I want you to inhale. And then on your exhale, squeeze your knees, and at the same time, try to separate your knees with your fists. So you're going to fire up those psoas muscles and then relax. All right? We're going to try that a few more times. So inhale is passive. On your exhale now, squeeze your knees in towards your fists, and your fists are separating. And feel how you're firing up and then release. Let's try that again. Inhale is passive. Exhale, squeeze. Feel how you're firing up through the hips and the psoas. And then release. Good. Let it go. Extend your legs out. Maybe shake them out a little bit. Give them a little shake. And then bend your knees. Put your feet flat on the floor. We're going to roll onto our side and push ourselves up. And we're going to come up onto hands and knees. So I invite you, we're coming into what we call the table posture. You place your palms directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees will be underneath your hips in what we call the tabletop. In tabletop, we're going to stretch the spine in what we call the cat and the cow. So palms underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Make sure that the creases of your wrists are parallel to the front of your mat, and you spread your fingers nice and wide. You can always have your hands slightly in front of your shoulders if you have any concerns in your wrists. If this is not available for you on your hand, you can always come onto your forehands. That's another alternative. So as we move into cat and cow, you're going to soften the belly, lift your tailbone. We're going to come right into what they call the cow. Look forward in front of you on the inhale. And then your exhale is going to be starting at your tailbone. Lengthen your tailbone, draw the navel center and your heart in towards your chest, and maybe even tuck your chin in towards your sternum. That's your exhale. And then on your inhale, see if you lead with your tailbone. Just move nice and slow. Lift your tailbone, soften your belly, lift your heart, open your throat, and look forward and up. And then when you're ready to exhale, start with your tailbone. Tip your tailbone down, work through the navel, the heart, lower your chin and the crown of your head towards the floor on your exhale. And try that a couple times on your own, going back and forth, and just lead with your tailbone and just see that felt sensation of moving a little bit differently in a posture that may be a very familiar one, but now you're initiating that movement from the tail as we're focusing on strengthening the core and releasing that low back. We'll try one more. And the next time when you exhale, come back into that table position. If you'd like to just come into wisdom pose where you shift your hips back, you're going to maybe lower your forehead towards between your elbows and just take what we call the wisdom pose, or also known as child's pose. So take that variation, shift your hips right and left, and release the low back. We're going to come back up onto all fours and do one more posture on our hands and knees before we come up to stand. Now this pose is called the hunting dog, and I'd like to stretch out the backs of your legs first by starting with your right foot behind you. So my toes are on the floor, so I'm stretching out my metatarsals, my toes, and the back of my calf, and I start adding a little pulse here. And this is just to wake up those muscles in the back of your leg. It's a very gentle pulse. Try to, again, maintain that your shoulders are square. This is very shoulder stability here. And then if it's available to you, you can see challenging your balance now, so you want to really engage through the core, and see if you can lift the right leg up. As you lift the right leg up, you might be pointing out through the toes of your right leg. Now, if this is okay for you, or feeling stable and steady here, you might want to challenge this by extending your left arm out in front. Like this is hence the name, the hunting dog. Perhaps tuck your chin just a bit so you're looking down at your mat or slightly forward. And then you're going to lower the left arm and lower the right knee. And then we're going to switch sides. So step your left foot back, toes on your mat. Keep your hips squared to the mat. Shoulder blades down the back. Really feel engaged through the shoulders. This really, you need to strengthen your shoulder muscles. And then start to pulse back through the ball of your left foot. Little pulses back and forth. And you'll feel this in the calf muscle, awakening up the back of your left hips and glutes. And then you're going to lift the left leg up slowly, point the left foot, keep your hips, if you're stable enough and steady here, extend your right arm out in front of you. Fingers forward, reaching through the fingertips and through the toes. Again, gaze is forward or towards the front of your mat, or maybe even slightly tucking your chin, so you have this long connection through the spine, through the crown of your head, out through your tailbone. Find stability and balance, and then exhale, release. This time, maybe shift your hips back, and then release your hands down by your side. I like to shake my wrists out to take out that tension of the weight bearing on that these poses often do put on those wrist joints. Circle your wrists one way, circle them the other way. So we're going to go back to that posture one more time, but we're going to move dynamically by alternating right and left. So back up, all fours. So the right leg will be behind, the left arm forward. So we're going to alternate. So you're going to lift the right leg on your inhale, exhale, lower. Now switch legs, left leg out, right arm up, inhale, exhale, lower. Alternating again, opposite arm, opposite leg. Inhale, exhale, lower. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Inhale, exhale, lower. Few more sets. Inhale, exhale, lower. Opposite arm, opposite leg, doesn't matter which one you're on, just inhale, lift, exhale, lower. We'll do one more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Finish the other side. Inhale, exhale, lower. Good job. And then from there, I'm coming up on my shins, shaking out my arms. I like to rub my palms together, just shake it out, open and close, circle my wrists one way, circle them the other way. And then I'm going to invite us all to come up to stand. So as you come up to stand on your mat, find your mountain pose. So in mountain pose, I always say you like to be standing about hip width distance apart. Again, I judge that with my 2 fists. So I always take my 2 fists together, place them between my big toe mounds, and notice that's approximately hip width distance from my frame. Everyone's a little bit different, but notice what feels supported for you in this posture. As you come into mountain, feel the 4 corners of your feet, big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel and outer heel. And position your hips over your heels, and let's bring our shoulders forward and up and down the back. And do that again. Bring your shoulders forward and up with a nice big inhale. Maybe sigh out through the mouth as you exhale back and down. One more time. Inhale forward and up. Exhale back out and down. We're going to move through the 6 directions of the spine a little bit here. So I'm going to start with the breath of freedom, which is an inhale where you open your arms nice and wide. As you take a nice big inhale here, lift your sternum, open up your heart into a gentle back bend. As you exhale, cross your right arm over your left. I like to give my shoulders a great big hug, tuck my chin, and little flexion of your spine as you bow down. Exhale. We're going to repeat that again. So inhale, open your arms nice and wide. As you exhale, cross your left arm over your right. Hug your shoulders, tuck your chin, and little flexion of the spine as you bow down. Now inhale, breath of freedom. Now let's add a side bend. So I invite you to lower one arm and bring the other arm up and over, side bend. Inhale, breath of freedom, arms open wide. As you exhale, lower the opposite arm and switch to the other side. Let's repeat that again to side bends. Inhale, open wide. Lower one arm and side bend to the other side. Stretch, try to keep your shoulders in line with your hips. Last one, inhale, and then side bend to the other side. As you come back up, lower your arms down by your sides, return to mountain, and just notice those physical sensations. Feel that energy moving up and down your back and your spine. Remember not to lock out your knees, keep your knees nice and soft. I'd like us to do a little twist here now. So knees soft. I like to do what I call cactus arms. So your elbows are bent, palms facing forward. Keep your knees soft. Now when you twist, you want to be very mindful of your back when you twist. Move through your rib cage, your shoulders, and your neck as you twist to one side. Just gently look over to one side, twist, feel that range of motion that feels available to you. Don't over twist. And then slowly come back to center, and then twist to the other side. And again, move through your rib cage, your shoulders, and then your neck. Come back to center, and then twist to the other side again. Repeat, take your time. Notice the availability as you move through this posture. Maybe the second time you can go a little bit further. Make your way back to center one last time. Over to the opposite side, and then come back to center. Good, and then lower down your arms. Excellent. We're going to continue to stretch now in the back, an area called the quadratus lumborum. These are these low back muscles that support. So I'm going to invite you to separate your feet as comfortable, wide distance as you can. So you'll notice my heels are in and my toes are out, all right? And when I'm going to bring my hands to my hips just as a way of keeping my shoulders above my hips. That's really, it's an indicator for me. And if it's available to you, you're going to bend your knees and come into a squat, okay? And then we're gonna just go up and down 5 times. So inhale, lift, exhale, bend, just to get the quads and your glutes warmed up. Inhale, lift, exhale, bend. 3 more, inhale, lift, exhale, bend. 2 more times, inhale, lift, exhale, bend. Last time, and bend. Good. Now, if you can, place your hands with your knees slightly bent on your thighs. Now, this is going to bring you to lean forward now. As you lean forward, keep lengthening through your spine, but I want you to protect that low back by engaging that little zipper. Now, when you zipper up, you're going to feel the transverse abdominis engaged. So there's like a little zipper. Get strong through your core. All right, so now, as you inhale, look forward and up. That's extension. Now, as you exhale, I want you to flex into that cat pose, round the back, exhale. We're working the erector spinae muscles. So as you inhale, come into that cow pose, lift up, extension through the crown of your head, open your heart and your throat, and then exhale, round. One more time, as you inhale, lengthen your spine into that cow pose, and then as you exhale, round into the cat. Then come back to a neutral position here. So now we've worked the erector spinae muscles. Now to target these QL muscles, we have to add a little bit of a twist to this. So you're going to bring your right shoulder or one shoulder towards the opposite knee, whichever one you choose. As you draw the shoulder across, maybe look behind you, and you'll feel the stretch through the side. This is getting into that quadratus lumborum, the low back muscle. Inhale, come back to center. Now bring your opposite shoulder towards the opposite knee and look over your shoulder as you do that, and feel that nice stretch through the side waist of your body. Take a breath here and come back through center. We're going to repeat that stretch one more time, one more each side. Bring your opposite shoulder towards the opposite knee. You're moving in that direction. You're not touching it, but you're moving in that direction. Feel the twist. Come back to center. One last time and twist. Come back to center. And then slowly make your way up to stand. Bring your shoulders forward and up. Roll them down the back with an exhale. Step both feet together. And just observe that energy. And notice the physical sensations in your spine as you move through those directions. Now we're going to move into the warrior one. So I'm going to invite you to face the front edge of your mat. You're going to step, let's start with the right foot if you would. Your right foot will be forward and your left foot behind you. I always, again, like to start with my hands on my hips. It just gives me a sense of proprioception, noticing where my shoulders are in relation to my hips. You want the action of stacking your shoulders over your hip in this posture, and you're finding a comfortable stance. My right foot is forward, but I can feel the 4 corners of my right foot grounded. The same with my back foot. I'm really grounded through the heel of my back foot. My shoulders are over my hips. Now, I'm going to move dynamically by bending my right knee. When I bend my right knee, I want to make sure my knees and toes are in the same direction. And then I'm going to straighten the leg. And we'll do that 2 more times. Bend your right knee and straighten the leg. 1 more time, bend the right knee and straighten the leg. Great. Now let's add the arms. If you choose to, we're going to bend the right knee and bring your arms forward and up. And then on the exhale, out to your side and down as you straighten the right leg. So it's one big continuous movement. Bend your right knee on your inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. On your exhale, arms out to your sides and down as you straighten the right leg. We'll do one more continuous move. As you inhale, bend your knee, your arms come forward and up. And then as you exhale, you bring your arms down by your sides. Now the next time we bend the right knee, bring your arms forward and up, and we're going to hold in the warrior one. So as you hold in your warrior one, relax your shoulders. Keep your heart and your throat open. Feel the strength of your own body supporting you in this very, very strong posture. Feel the feet really grounding down, but you're lifting up through those fingertips. Take one more breath here. Deep inhale, fill the belly, fill the belly, fill the belly. Now on your exhale, lower your arms, let all the breath out, exhale, and step both feet together. Feel the physical effects. Notice those sensations in your body now. Notice your right side and your left side. No judgment, just being aware of what those physical sensations are. We'll prepare now for the opposite side. So now step your left foot forward. Comfortable stance in your physical body. Hands on your hips. Again, draw those shoulders over your hips. Make sure you feel the four corners of your feet, both feet grounding down, and then bend your left knee. Bend and then straighten. Bend and straighten. And one more time, bend and straighten. Now we'll add the arms and try to move with the breath. As you inhale, bend the left knee, sweep your arms forward and up. And then on your exhalation, lower the arms down by your sides as you straighten the leg. Nice big continuous flow. Your inhale, you're bringing the arms forward and up as you bend your left knee. As you exhale, sweep your arms out to your side and down as you straighten the leg. One more round. Move nice and slow and really feel the energy of your body as you're moving your arms. And then the next time when you come up into the posture of your warrior one, you're going to hold it. Again, feel the ground rooting down into your feet. Really sink your feet into the earth. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Knees and toes in the same direction, and your arms are lifting up tall. Your fingers are bright. You are the warrior. We all are warriors here today. Live in the strength and the courage of your warrior spirit. As we support one another, take one more breath. As you exhale, lower your arms, step both feet together. Stand in your mountain. Feel the physical strength of your body. We'll move into warrior two. So in warrior two, I'll invite you now to step both feet out, nice wide stance. Hands on your hips, just for the sake of keeping your felt sense of your shoulders over your hips. Remember, the tailbone is long, zip up that zipper, strong through the core. These are really great strengthening postures for your spine and your core, as well as many other groups of muscles. Now, point your left foot to the front of your mat or to that direction. As you spin the toes towards the front of your mat, you're going to bend that knee. Make sure when you bend your knee, just look at your knee. Make sure knees and toes are going in the same direction. If there's any discomfort, make the adjustments that you need in your knees or hips as is right in your body. If it's available to you, bring your arms out to the sides, parallel to the floor. Relax those shoulders. Remember about zipping up that zipper, strong through the core. That's your transverse abdominis engaged. And let your gaze go over the middle finger of the arm that's forward. And reach out through those fingertips. Feel the strength of your arms and shoulders expand. Also to feel the expansiveness in your legs. Almost as if you're really engaging those legs. Rooting down and separating your mat in two. Find the strength of the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Find that breath, deep, three-part breath. Breathe deep into the bowl of the belly. Fill your lungs, fill your throat. Exhale. We'll do one more, please, if it's available. Go deep. As you exhale, lower your arms, parallel your feet, step them together, and just pause for a moment in that felt sensation of the energy you're now moving throughout your body. Find your breath, connect to your breath, breath in and breath out. Let's move into the other side by stepping your feet a comfortable distance apart. Your feet are parallel now. Hands to your hips, shoulders over your hips. Zip that zipper up. Now point your right foot to the opposite side of your mat. When you bend your right knee, make sure you look down. Knees and toes are going in the same direction. Still keep the shoulders over the hips. Try not to lean forward or lean back. Try to keep the shoulders stacked over your hips. And then expand through the arms. Expand through your fingertips. And then let your gaze go over the middle finger of the right hand, the extended arm that's out in front of the bent knee. Reach through those fingertips. Feel expansiveness through your armpits and through your shoulders. Feel the strength of your legs supporting you. Feel the courage of the warrior that you are. Find your breath. Nice big deep inhale. Nice big deep exhale. Let's do that one more time, please. And then on your exhalation, lower your arms. Parallel your feet. Step your feet together. Come back to the mountain. Pause. And just in this moment, notice those physical sensations. Let's sweep your arms all the way out. Maybe bring your arms and palms to touch overhead. If it's available, just gaze up with your hands. As you gently lower your hands, draw your thumbs to your third eye and just pause in a place of knowledge of truth. Bring your hands to lips in your throat and pause here from a place of where you speak your truth with kind words to yourself and to others. Bring your hands to your heart and maybe bow inwardly and just take a moment here, acknowledging that this is the place of the true self. And always remember to be true to yourself. And that I bring hope into the present moment. I'm going to invite you now to come back down to your mat. We're going to do one more seated posture before we go into a relaxation. So as you come onto your mat, in a seated position, you can start with your legs out in what I call a V. Again, we're going to target the low back muscles here, and I'm going to offer you to move in a way that just feels supported for you in your body. So if legs extended out here is not comfortable, go here, bring them in so it's comfortable. And you might prefer to even just bend one knee and slide the foot in. If that seems to be a little bit more available to you, that's okay. So I'll work with my knee bent. My right hand is, my extended leg is gonna have one hand on it, and we're gonna do a side stretch, okay? So let me just move here so you can see. The idea here is we're gonna target this low back muscle again, that quadratus lumborum, with a side bend stretch. So the leg that's extended, I have my arm resting on it. The opposite arm is gonna lift up and go over my ear and stretch and reach. I'm gonna act as if I'm reaching to grab something, and then I'm gonna come back with a nice strong bicep curl. Nice big strong bicep curl, right? And I'm gonna do that again. Let's go again. Reach, side bend, stretch and reach. And then do nice bicep curl back again. Nice strong arms, okay? We'll do one more stretch and we're gonna hang in the stretch. So once you get over here, see if you can find that nice stretch into the side waist, that low back. So you should feel that really deep in the low back muscles. This is called the QL. And see if you can breathe into that muscle. Imagine sending your breath all the way there with a nice big inhale. And then exhale out through the mouth. And then make your way slowly back up. Sit up tall. Your leg is bent. Straighten it out. Take a moment to just pause and notice the sense of maybe expansion on one side versus the other, or not. Just notice whatever you notice. There's no right or wrong here. It's just being aware of those physical sensations. Now, as we move to the other side, I'm going to bend my knee straight, the other leg. So my arm is on the leg that's extended, and my opposite arm is going to come up and over. So as I bring my arm up and over, stretch through a side bend, and then I'm going to make that bicep curl like I'm pulling something back with a nice strong bicep curl, really nice and tight, really work through that. We'll stretch and reach again, go, nice big stretch, and then come back up and bicep curl here. And then last time, go for that stretch. Hold for a moment. Take a breath. And then exhale, come all the way up. Extend both legs out, give them a shake. We're going to make our way back onto our spine for a little bit of breath relaxation. We might run a minute or two over the 11:45. I apologize. But if you have to leave, of course, leave. But if you can stay and take the benefit of a relaxation, please do so. This is probably one of the most important parts of the practice. So make your way onto your spine or on a chair, any way that feels supported for you. If you're on your back, you can have your knees bent. Your knees can touch if that's available, or you're going to extend your legs all the way out. If you'd like to take a long body stretch now, just to take one last stretch. Stretch through your entire body as you press through your heels and ankles. Flex your feet. Press through your legs. Tighten up through your glutes and your abs. Extend your arms overhead and reach through your fingertips. Take a great big inhale here now. Fill your lungs, fill your lungs, fill your lungs. And then when you exhale, you're going to open up your mouth and exhale out and relax entirely and go, and just let your entire body release. Take any final last minute adjustments so that you can just rest for the next 3 or 4 minutes in a nice supported, relaxed posture. Whether your knees are bent, whether your legs are extended, they can be up over a chair, you can put legs up on a wall. Make this your posture. Let it be what you need it to be. As you begin to settle in, become aware of the physical meeting points where your body is resting. Notice how the back of your head is resting. Notice the back of your shoulders. Notice where your spine is resting. Notice where your hips, your legs. Now soften your facial features. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Relax the cheeks. Notice where your upper lip meets your lower lip. Soften your throat, your shoulders. Allow your arms to rest by your side or wherever feels supported for you. Allow your rib cage to settle as you soften your belly, soften the pelvis, release the flesh of your hips and thighs. Relax your knees, your ankles, and your feet. Allow your entire body now to rest. to rest in stillness with your body and your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and as you breathe out. If your mind begins to wander, that's okay. Just keep coming back to that felt sensation of the breath. Breath in and breath out. And if even despite your best efforts, your mind wanders again, come back to the breath. Breath in and breath out. Very slowly now, gently bring your awareness back into a deeper breath as you start to breathe just a little bit deeper into the body. And if you choose to want to just stay in relaxed position, please feel free to just stay here. There's no need for you to have to awaken out of this posture. You can just stay here as I continue to invite those who choose to move your fingers and move your toes. For those of you who choose to stretch out, maybe extend your arms, extend your legs in a nice big extension. Big inhale and then a big exhale. Bend your knees. Maybe wake your way over onto your side. As you roll onto your side, maybe just pause there a moment or just pause wherever you are and just notice that felt sensation of this practice. And know that at any time that you choose to come back to this place within of serenity, of calm, that it is always there. It's always available for you. It's just waiting for you to arrive. And then slowly now, I invite you to gently push yourself up into a seated position if you choose. As we come to the conclusion of our time this morning, I'll just invite you to maybe pause one moment, maybe bow your head or bring your hands to your heart or palms together at your heart. And see if you can find some space within that might feel something like gratitude. From this place of gratitude, I invite you to consider one thing today that you can be grateful for. I'm thankful to all of you for allowing me this honor to be here, to hold this space and to share these practices with you this morning. I just invite you to continue with this thought today that I bring hope into this present moment. And with this together, throughout, with support of one another, we can continue from the place of hope and love and kindness to stay connected and get through this ever stronger. So I wish you all peace. The word Shanti means peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.